Hello and welcome to today's Bites video. This is about the oblique broad or the broad oblique stub right foot nib grind from Inkcision Works, which I have here on the Inkcision Works Just Turnings dipper, which I made a little video about, and you can see about that, which I'll link to in the video description here. Just Turnings is an Australian pen maker, and Inkcision is Daniel there, who's the Australian Nibmeister, amazing Nibmeister, and I opted for this particular nib on the dipper. But I also wanted to sort of talk about the nib in a little bit more detail. It's a phenomenal nib. The cut on it is brilliant. Daniel really knows what he's doing. It is precision work and it is art in itself. So, as I said, this is a broad, oblique, stub, right foot. So, oblique nibs are generally italic. This was a broad Yovo nib, like standard number 6 stock broad Yovo nib. And then to cut it to oblique, you turn it into an italic, and then you cut the tip or the top of the tip at an angle. So this is a right foot oblique, which is perfect for left-handed. Right-handed writers will use a left foot oblique. The oblique basically gives you the option to, as you're writing, not have to be perfectly flat on that stub surface, right? So with that slight cut to the right foot, so left to right down angle, it means that as I roll the pen ever so slightly in my hand, I get perfect connection with the page. And it is smooth and it is delightful. So a left foot would go the other way. So right top leaning down to the left so that the right-handed writer can turn the pen their way. And that's just something that if you don't need an oblique, don't get an oblique. Like it's a cut for a reason. And I tend to roll my pen slightly. You can see there, like slightly to the right. It's quite common, so I often find it hard to get like the perfect angle for a stub nib on the page or an italic. The stub aspect of it means that the corners of that italic have been rounded ever so slightly to give it a nice sort of slightly more smooth, forgiving nature on the page. I tend to find left-handed writers write better with rounded italics or stub nibs than with crisp italic nibs, simply because as we're pushing, you're not catching that corner. As a right-handed writer pulls it across the page, they're sitting sort of more, they're like, there's less friction in that than a left-handed person pushing it. So that's why I got the right foot oblique and slightly stubby. So I'm just going to draw this nib basically for you, right? So as I said, it's a right foot, so it goes left to right down. This is an over-exaggeration, of course. And then you get the nib. And so that is your stub, that flat surface that gives you the wide downstrokes and the thin crossstrokes. A lot of you know I really love an architect nib, which goes the other way, and I've got a great architect nib there from Inkcision Works, which I've reviewed previously. And then, as I said, that right foot just gives me the ability to sit nice and comfortably flat on the page the way I hold the pen. And then, as I said, it's stubby, so these corners have been slightly rounded. And you can see that, I'm going to try and show a couple of like close-up photos. You can see all of that. But one thing you get when you get an Inkcision nib grind is it's just beautiful work. It's not just simply cut and then rounded. It's polished and cleaned, and it looks, as I said, it's a piece of art in itself, honestly. So yeah, I really, really enjoy this nib. It's a nib grind I've always really liked. In fact, one of my favorite nibs over a long time has been my, this is the Italics brand, and this is, I think, the Parsons Essential. This company doesn't exist anymore, but they would also do nib grinds, and so this one also has a right foot oblique from a medium nib. It's a smaller nib, and this was always a favorite of mine. and it's also very, very smooth. But you can see the quality of the, I don't know if this will actually come up at all. The quality of the cut is just different. Like there's just something, this is like cut and rounded. This one is cut and shaped. It's not just like the tipping is cut off. Like this one's kind of like the tipping has basically been removed. This one, the tipping itself is shaped and it's beautifully done. This is a moray eel green from Anderillium. Absolutely, like an ink that I can't get enough of at the moment. So I'll just do a quick dip of that italics nib there. Italic. This is a Right Foot medium oblique. And so, yeah, this one is lovely as well. Like, I really enjoy the cut of this. I've used this a lot, but it's just a little sharper. It's just a little, you know, it just doesn't quite have the special feeling on the page that the Inkcision, I'm going to write up here because this is definitely a selling point here. Inkcision Works. Just so much care has been taken in creating this nib, and you know, we discussed it, what I was after, and then I said, and I requested it be a little stubby because I know how I write and I know what I like on the page, and this ticks all the boxes. We're going to measure those line widths. So I just have a little line rule chart here. So just take this middle line there. So we've got something around the 0.9, maybe 0.85, 0.9 millimeter on the downstroke. And then the cross stroke is something around the 0.3 there. Now with the italics, it's closer to the 0.35, 0.4 millimeter on the cross stroke. And the downstroke goes between like a 0.75 and a 0.8. So the downstrokes are fairly similar, but that fineness of the cross stroke on the Inkcision Works grind, absolutely beautiful. If you're a left-handed writer and stub nibs aren't behaving, try a right foot oblique. Talk to Daniel at Inkcision Works and get a right foot oblique nib. You really won't be disappointed. This is absolutely beautiful. So thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, hit the notifications button, and consider becoming a member of this channel. All funds that this channel make go straight back into the channel. So this channel could not happen without the support of you, my viewers. So thank you for watching. And until next time, enjoy your pens and nibs, and I'll talk to you soon.